Making $1 million in real estate may sound impossible, but did you realize that there are over 24 millionaires in the US? That's 8.8% of the population. It's more achievable than you think. For context, only 3% of Americans have a visible six-pack. And no, I'm not talking about a six-pack of Heineken. I'm talking about a six-pack of abs. Yes, that's right. It's easier to become a millionaire than it is to get a six-pack of abs. In this video, I'll break down 5 different ways to make $1 million in real estate. By the end of this video, I will show you where the money is made, what it looks like, and how you can make it. Spoiler alert, it doesn't involve any sit-ups, crunches, or kale smoothies. So I hope you're ready. Let's get it. Real estate works because it just doesn't make money just one way. There's 5 different ways to cash in. Think of it as a Swiss Army knife for building wealth. The first way is cash flow. Now, Jeff Bezos said cash flow is more important than your mama. Now, Jeff, I don't know about that. Nobody more important than my mama. But he's got a point. Cash flow is king, and that's why it holds the crown. So what is cash flow? Let's say you have $50,000 in revenue, you have $20,000 in expenses, and $10,000 in debt. So once you subtract that, you're left with a total of $20,000 in net cash flow. That's $20,000 that could replace your W-2 or allow you to reinvest more in real estate. Number 2 is appreciation. There are 3 ways appreciation happens. Over time, properties rise, just like the price of eggs lately, but significantly higher. Property prices increase in value. They normally rise at an average rate of 3%, but areas like Florida, New York, Seattle, Washington, they can see increases of high of 6 to 10% in a year. The second form of appreciation is forced appreciation, aka turning a home into a hen interest dream home. Forced appreciation happens when you create value through renovations and increasing rent. And the third type of appreciation is you can show me some appreciation by hitting that subscribe button, sharing this information with someone who could benefit from it, and, interact with me below in the comments. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to hit the like button. Way number 3, principal reduction. Think of it like this: having 25 tenants all pitching in to pay off your credit card debt, except it's your mortgage. Every month, they're building your equity while you're over there drinking coffee or lattes or espressos. For example, you buy a $1 million property with finance, and let's say the mortgage payment is $6,500 a month, with majority of the payment going to interest, but a portion of it goes to the principal. And let's say that's $1,500. That $1,500 pays down the monthly principal balance. And over a 5-year period, you would have created a principal reduction of over $90,000. Even if you had 0 net cash flow. And let's add in appreciation. And over a 5-year period, let's say it appreciated at a 5% rate. That's equivalent of $250,000 over a 5-year period. You add in the $90,000 principal reduction plus the $250,000 appreciation, you created $340,000 in equity. That's better than any money-making, get-rich-quick scheme that your cousin shared on the gram with you. The 4th way is tax benefits. Real estate offers tax benefits that feels like the cheat codes for life. There's depreciation, there's 1031, and there's multiple other tax deductions that literally can save you thousands or even hundreds of thousands legally. Also, if you qualify for the REP status, real estate professional, you can utilize 100% of the depreciation benefits to offset your W-2 or your 1099 income with paper losses. No need to accidentally forget to put that side hustle on your tax returns anymore. If you netted $75,000 in net cash flow on your real estate property, you would have had to pay $15,000 in taxes. But with depreciation, it literally wipes that out. Now that's magic. If you want to learn more about depreciation and how you can legally avoid saving on taxes hundreds of thousands of dollars, just check out my video right here and I'll show you even more. Now, number 5 is fees and commissions. Property managers, syndicators, and realtors all have this one thing in common. They all get paid a lot. Utilizing the commission and fee-based structure, they can obtain acquisition fees, disposition fees, construction management fees, which adds up to thousands or hundreds or even millions of dollars per deal. Now, here are 5 ways to make $1 million. Way number 1, become a real estate agent. Let's break this down step by step. Step number 1, how is the money made? Through commissions. The standard commission is 6%, but look, don't get too excited because that's going to be split. That's a 50-50 split between the buyer and seller's agent. Then the agent splits their 3% with their broker, which is yet another 50-50 split. Now, I know some of you agents out there say, look, my split is so much better, but look, this is just an example for this video. So as an agent, you're left with 1.5% net commission. Step number 2, how much do you make per house? The average home price in the US is $400,000. So 1.5% of that $400,000 equals $6,000 for commission per property. That's not bad, right? Well, it can get better. Step 3, how many houses to make $1 million? To hit $1 million, you need to sell 167 houses. Step 4, how long will it take? The average real estate agent sells 12 houses per year. At that rate, it'll take 13.9 years. Man, we can't wait that long to make $1 million. Step 5, how do you make $1 million faster? There are 2 ways to speed this up. Number 1, increase the property values that you sell. Instead of just selling $400,000 homes, sell $1 million homes like commercial buildings, warehouses, apartments, even hotels. Higher property values mean bigger commissions. Number 2, become a broker and build a team. I always say with a team, together, everyone accumulates money. Now you must continue to sell, and then if you sell 12 properties at $1 million each, that will be $180,000 net commission to you because now you're not splitting that brokerage fee. So now instead of taking 1.5%, you're getting a full 3%. If you leverage the team and you have 10 agents averaging selling 12 houses at $400,000 a piece, that ends up being $720,000 coming back to you. That's a combined total of $1,050,000. Way number 2, wholesaling. You might be tight on cash, but if you're ambitious, wholesaling is for you. You don't even need to buy properties. You just have to find good deals and then you can flip the contract. How do you make $1 million as a real estate wholesaler? Put a property under contract and make the MAO, maximum allowable offer. So how do you come up with that? You take the ARV times 70% minus the repairs minus the wholesale fee. Then you assign the contract to another real estate investor. That's typically a rehabber. How many houses do you need to sell to make $1 million? Wholesale assignment fees typically range from $5,000 to $20,000 per property. Assume an average fee of $10,000. So therefore your net will be $10,000 per property. Therefore, you're going to have to sell 100 houses. How many years will it take? A full-time wholesaler typically makes anywhere from $60,000 to $240,000 annually. So that averages out to be $150,000 per year. That translates to 15 houses per year. So therefore, it will take you 6.7 years to make $1 million. How can you make $1 million faster? Build teams. Create 10 teams inclusive of acquisition and sales. Pay each team 25% in commissions, so for a total of 50%. Then you must increase your marketing, scale your operations to increase your wholesale profit. To scale your profits, you must do $10,000 per deal times 10 teams times 15 houses times 50% in commissions. That creates a net profit of $750,000 to you. Add this to the direct sales that you created, and now you have $1 million in profit. Way number 3, become a real estate flipper. You buy an ugly house in a good neighborhood, you renovate it, then you resell it. You buy it for the MAO, maximum allowable offer. That's ARV times 70% minus repairs. You can borrow money from hard money lenders or even private lenders. How many houses do you need to flip to make $1 million? Normally when you flip, you try to make at least least a $50,000 profit, depending on where you're located. Therefore, to make $1 million, it's going to take 20 houses. A full-time flipper flips 5 to 8 houses a year. So if you have an average of 6 houses you flip, that's over a $300,000 profit per year. So at that rate, it could take you 3.3 years to make $1 million. How can you make $1 million faster flipping? Well, number one, increase your marketing budget, raise more money to do flips so you already have the bank ready to acquire. Instead of fixing flipping 6 houses a year, scale up and do 20 houses in 1 year. Before we move on, let's talk about mindset. The truth is, you won't make $1 million unless you believe it. So right now, I want you to say it out loud. I am a millionaire. Come on, I need you to say it right now. I am a millionaire. And yes, it may feel weird at first, but you gotta talk to your future self so that you can learn your future truth. The more you say it, the more you believe it, the more it will come true. Visualize the properties you will own. Envision the financial freedom that you will have. Look at the life you'll build. Keep that vision in mind as we go through the next ways you can make $1 million. Way number 4, the BRRRR method. The BRRRR method is buy a house, renovate it, rent it out, refinance, and pull equity out, and then repeat it all over again. The formula for the BRRRR method is the after repair value times 75% minus the renovations. And that's the max you can pay. Now, I like to stay around 70%, but what we're getting to is the max you can pay is 75%. Here's an example. The ARV is $400,000. The rehab needed is $50,000. So the max offer we can make is $400,000 times 75% minus $50,000. So our maximum allowable offer is $250,000. And that will leave $100,000 of equity in the deal. How many houses do you need to BRRRR to make $1 million? If you're making $100,000 per deal, then you only need 10 houses. If you BRRRR 1 house every 6 months, that's only 2 houses per year. Therefore, it will take you 5 years to make your $1 million. How can you be a BRRRR landlord and expedite to get to the $1 million? Well, look, instead of doing 1 every 6 months, do 5 houses every 6 months. Raise more money, spend more money on ads to increase deal flow. This method will accelerate your path to $1 million utilizing the BRRRR method. Way number 5, own a 25-unit apartment building. When you buy an apartment building, you can use OPM, other people's money. Now, location is still everything. Choose a good location with a lot of growth potential. Then steadily increase the rent annually. Depending on the market, you can increase the rent annually by 3%. How many apartment buildings do you need to make $1 million? 1. Just 1 apartment building is all it takes. To create value, you gotta increase the rent. So you take 25 units, increase the rents by $50 times the annual year times 12, and you divide that by a 6 cap. You're creating $250,000 a year in value each year. So over a 4-year period, you can create $1 million in value. How can you reach $1 million faster? Find a deal where you can push the rents even faster. If you find a deal that's under market value by $200 and you do renovations that you can increase the rent by $200, within the first year, you can create $1 million in value. And if you invest in areas that have strong growth, the rents can typically exceed the 3% annually per year. And if you optimize your operations, reducing vacancy, streamline property management, maximize profitability, you easily can pass $1 million with 1 property. Whether it's flipping a house, wholesaling a property, using the BRRRR method, being a real estate agent, or just buying that 1 apartment deal, the path to $1 million starts with one of these as being your first step. Take action, stay consistent, and remember, it's not just about the money. It's about having impact in your community or their family to help them create their transformation. Are you ready to start now? Let's make it happen. Because remember, you're literally one big deal away. Peace.